Yeah, I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Now, drop my phone, give me a second. Welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is My Thoughts 61, and today, as it states, this is Finding Muhammad. Okay. Now, in doing this, I'm trying to foundate and substantiate a lot of lies that come out of the Bible. Okay. The Quran is nothing but another Bible. Um, to be even more solid on what I'm saying, the Quran is based on the Bible and the Torah. Okay. So it's based on it has Jewish literature in it. All of the literature is Jewish, but it has Jewish literature in it. It has Christian literature in it. And then it gets to the Quran itself. Okay. What am I saying? In every Quran, in the spurts and the inside of it, you have the first five books of Moses, which is the law. Okay. Then you have the Psalms and you have the New Testament. So you have all those bodies of work inside of every Quran. So the Quran is nothing but a Bible in itself. But yet and still the Muslims and the Islamic believers, they're a very hard bunch of people. And they believe what they believe. They say the Quran is infallible. But if that's the case, why is it founded on two books that is fallible? Okay. Once you deem that the Jewish Bible was incorrect, the Christian Bibles was incorrect, why did you use them in your material? That's my question. See, because the Torah don't say nothing about Islam. Nothing. The Bible doesn't mention one word about Islam or this Prophet Muhammad. Not one word. But yet and still, they use both religious materials to foundate their word and say their word is correct. Okay. Now, today we're doing Finding Muhammad, and I'm talking about Prophet Muhammad of Islamic tradition, a non-human being, a created character, just like every other Bible character. You can't get nothing out of religion but religion. Out of religion comes religion. See? And the Quran is fairly brand new. Before that, it never was nothing called Islam. It was called Mohammedanism. So if a person wanted to go do his research, he can find out that years prior, they used to refer to it as Mohammedanism, not Islam. Islam is based on a book called the Quran. So you cannot have Islam without the Quran. But you did have Mohammedanism, which is the followers of a so-called Muhammad. Okay. So that was around before Islam. These is facts. And don't get mad at what I'm saying in here. Go get smart. When you look at me and you encounter a person like me and you said he's saying things I've never heard of before, don't get mad. Get smart. Okay. I'm not here to take anything away from anybody, but I'm here to restore your spirituality. So if I break down all these childlike, believable things that people believed in, maybe they can restore some spirituality that was taken from them when religion was given to them. Okay. Now, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. Let's get into it. Be real quick. Let me see. Hold on. There it is. Okay, what you're looking at right there says Muhammad. Again, this is very critical. It does not give a birth date or death date for this man. They do know a death date because people have agreed upon it that he died June 8th, I believe, 632. But his birth, 570, the year 570, they don't have no date for his birth. Now, some, Islamic man might have his birth date, but I'm talking about the world. I'm not an Islamic man. I'm not into Islam. I'm not into any of the religious books. I'm just a person putting research material out there for you to research. Okay. And if you find these things to be true that you want to believe in, go ahead with it. Okay. Not taking Muhammad away from you. I didn't give them to you. I can't take them away from you. It says Muhammad right there. And I'm going to read it on my side because it kind of scrambles up. But Prophet of Islam, History and Society. Again, this is the Britannica. I picked them because they biblical scholars, they Islamic scholars, Judaism scholars, things of that nature, and they just tell it like it is. Whoever, if they have people that work for the company that is into believing these things, it doesn't come out in the work, so they just shoot it straight down the middle. That's why I use them. Okay, so it has some questions that we're gonna answer. Question one: Who was Muhammad? I'm gonna let you see that. It doesn't say a birthday and a death date, okay? Even though some, like I say, religious people of Islam know all that, but the world doesn't, okay? Muhammad was the founder of Islam and the proclaimer of the Quran, Islam's sacred scripture. This is what you see before you. He spent his entire life in what is now the country of Saudi Arabia. From his birth about, see, it says about 570 CE in Mecca to his death in 632 in Medina, according to Islamic tradition. Now, when you look up the term tradition, it's like what I've been stating, folklore, a wives' tale, an oral tradition, something that's been told over and over through generations. It doesn't mean fact. Look tradition up, okay? The Quran understands, I'm sorry, where am I? Islamic tradition. The Quran and understood as a literal transcription of the speech of God, Allah, was revealed to Muhammad in stages by the Archangel Gabriel, beginning in 610. So roughly around 610, he started getting his first recitations of this Quran. This is how the story goes now. He was in a mountain, Hira. I believe he started living in the mountain or something, in a little cave, and they still have the cave over there with his name on it and stuff. And they saying this angel Gabriel, the same angel that came to Mary for the annunciation of Jesus. In Islam, his name is Jibril, but it's Gabriel. It's the same people. They use all the same prophets, all the same names. That's why if you take Judaism and Christianity is away, Islam don't have nothing to stand on. So I don't know how they can sit there with all that integrity with suits and stuff on and them head wraps and thinking that they really have some integral scriptures when all of them are ABC 1, 2, 3, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse type of understandings. Take one away, they all fall. Okay. Now that was question one, stating who was Muhammad. Okay. Now it's going to go to the second question. This is just Britannica, but we're trying to find out if he can be deemed historical. Okay. What family did Muhammad have? That's what you see before you. According to Islamic tradition, his father died before Muhammad was born, and his mother died when he was young, when he was a young child. He is usually said to have had 14 wives or concubines during his lifetime. Although polygamy was then prevalent in Arabic society, he was monogamously married to his first wife, Khadijah, until her death after about 25 years of marriage. He had 4 daughters, at least 2 sons, both of whom died as infants with Khadijah, and probably another son who died young by a later wife, concubine, Mariah, I'm sorry. His youngest daughter, Fatima, married Muhammad's cousin, Ali, the fourth of Muhammad's successors as leader of the Muslim community. Okay, that's what it says about him. One of his wives was 6 years old, a little girl named Aisha. Okay, and you can go look for that and you can find it. He had a little girl named Aisha. He was all of 50 something years old. and he married a little girl named Aisha, which they go and say he didn't consummate the marriage till she was 9. So he used to fondle the little girl, I guess, take baths with her and things of that nature. And then he married her. I'm sorry, he consummated the marriage at 9. So he waited a couple years till she got older. Then he had sex with her. Okay. Now, a lot of Islamic people say that's not what the Quran said. But the Quran is nothing but a body of literature. Okay. The Hadith, the Ishnah, the Sunnah, that's a body of literature and material that people that write for the Quran, that's the body of work that they use to write for the Quran. Okay, that's all it is a body of work. Now, what's the next question? What are the traditional events of Muhammad's life? Okay, go to the next one. They don't like to bring up that 6-year-old wife, okay, because they sitting there like they integral men and know something and they speak, oh yeah, they know everything. But if you'll follow a man like this, I don't know who should follow you. Okay. And it's just real. It's just real. I don't care what year it was. I would never have sex with a 6-year-old. I wouldn't marry a 9-year-old. Okay. And I definitely wouldn't consummate no marriage with a 9-year-old when I'm in the 50s. So, what are the traditional events of Muhammad's life? That's what you're looking at now. Okay. Born in Mecca, about 570 of the Common Era, brand new. Muhammad married a wealthy widow, Khadijah, in 595, and in 610, he experienced visions of the Archangel Gabriel. His public preaching aroused opposition from other clans of his tribe. He undertook his miraculous night journey, Isra, or the flight out of Hurriya, okay, from Mecca to Jerusalem, where he prayed with Moses, Jesus, and other prophets. After his clan withdrew his protection, he fled to Medina in 622. Repulsed 2 attacks by Meccan forces in 625 and 627, he concluded a truce with Mecca in 628, but later forced it to submit. He led the farewell pilgrimage to Mecca, the precedent for the Hajj, in 632, the year of his death. Okay. Now, during this, let me see the term, Isra, it's called the night journey, or you can look up the flight of Hurriya. This Archangel Gabriel came and got him. Some sources said they went out on a flying carpet. Okay. It's previous versions before the version that we have today, and Google and all this electronic stuff have cleaned that up. Said the flight was taken on a carpet. He got on the carpet and he flew all through the night and he went all through heaven. But today they said he was on a little donkey that the Archangel Gabriel provided for him, named Barak. Excuse me. This is how the story goes now. I'm not making none of this up. Go look for it. I've been researching for years. When I get on here and say something, I'm giving you this elementary cut and dry stuff just to give you something to think about. These are not human beings. These are biblical characters. Okay. He flew on a donkey with wings on it named Barak. He flew all through the heavens, 24 hours, him and Gabriel wanted to show him something. He prayed with Moses, Jesus, and all these people. You never known any human beings to do that? Have you ever known a human being to get on a flying donkey? Some sources say a carpet, the older traditions, and fly up into heaven and with no spacesuit on or nothing, however far heaven is. I mean, you can do this in mythology. You can do this when you're in a dream, if he had a dream, but no, this really happened according to Islam and Muslim believers, Islamic believers. This man flew to the heavens, prayed with Jesus, prayed with Moses, all these names to try to solidify that the Quran is real. Okay, it's not real. It's just like every other biblical written literature. is false and fictitious. Pseudo-pivot stories with a story attached. False and fictitious stories with stories attached, man-made characters, and they put stories to them so they can be real in the mind of a believer. Okay, so let's get to the last one. This man is a non-human being, non-historical, non-human being. None of this stuff can be deemed historical. None of it. And I don't give a damn who don't like you. That's facts. Okay, what are the scholarly sources of Muhammad's biography? This is concluding, and we out. The Quran provides very few concrete details regarding Muhammad's life. Okay, let me state that again. Listen. The Quran provides very few concrete details regarding Muhammad's life. Most such information thus comes from the Surah, okay, biography literature consisting of accounts of his life by various writers, okay, dating mainly from the 8th and 9th centuries. This is what they're saying. He died in 632, which would be the 7th century, but they saying they have writings from the 8th and 9th century, which is 200 years later, that kind of substantiate or give you what his life was about. Those reports are not consistent, however, and some include miraculous elements or stories obviously adapted from the Bible. Okay, so they saying the surah, the stories that people written about him in the 8th and 9th century, 200 years later, is not consistent with reality, and a lot of them are adapted stories from the Bible. Are you hearing me? Because out of religion comes religion. You can't get no more clever than that. They use the Jewish literature and they use Christian literature to foundate this book on. Because Abraham, see, he has a son named Isaac and Ishmael. So Abraham is the father of the Jews, he's the father of Islam, and he's the father of Christianity. This is how the story goes now. I'm just breaking news to you, all right? So they put Bible stories in the surah to try to make it like that was Muhammad's life, miraculous stories. By carefully comparing accounts, scholars have identified common elements that were in circulation by the late 7th century, and some rudimentary details are confirmed by non-Islamic sources. Syriac Chronicle and American history, dating to the first few decades after his traditional death date. Okay, now that was Finding Muhammad. Again, as I concluded yesterday and the day before, David is a created character, false and fictitious character, created by the Bible, must stay in the Bible. Noah, false and fictitious character created by the Bible who must live and stay in the Bible. None of these people have birth dates and death dates. Muhammad, for the Muslim, is a non-human, false and fictitious created character who must stay in the Quran, which is nothing but the Bible, because the Quran has Jewish writings in it. The Quran has Christian writings in it. And Christian or Jewish writings does not say a damn thing about Islam. That should let you know who's the big boy and who's the little boy. Okay? When you have to use my literature to make your religion substantiate itself, and my scriptures don't say anything about you, that lets me know I'm sonning or little boying you, in street terminology. So Muhammad is a false and fictitious character. And I conclude he does not have a birthday. He does not have a death date. And when you go to the surah, those are miraculous Bible stories stolen, trying to adapt it to his life to make it seem like he has some type of chronology and he has some biography. If you go read, it says they don't know anything about Muhammad's life, but yet and still they know he married for 25 years. This is just how the story goes. These are attached stories to make this gentleman real. Okay. This is Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom Consul Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. This is what I do, and I love to do it. Before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. Muhammad is not any better than anybody else. He's not better than Abraham, Noah, Moses, or any of the prophets that he must abide by. And one of the tenets of Islam is that they must believe all scriptures. They talk about Judaism and Christianity, and they believe in all the prophets. And I rest my case.